I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network. Call 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Our conversation today will enable us to see the value of our intergenerational. What is it to be a grandmom? What is Grandparents' Day at a school? And what happens to my mind or your mind when you attend your child, your grandchild's school? and find yourself present, and you find yourself in the past of where you came from, and through the children that there you see the possibilities of your future. Well, today I'm going to share my story. And as life has it, I'm on the YouTube. Let me put you there. Okay. Right now, we are on Facebook and we are on YouTube. And I'm going to ask my technician to please send that to Naima, because we are definitely there. And we're hoping that you be a part of this, okay, with us. I'm very happy about today because my experience a couple of days ago at the school caused me to have a serious thought about my life. And what I'm saying is that sometimes we don't learn lessons. Sometimes we don't see where we've been until we start linking up with the young people. For many of us, we're experiencing that our children are missing in so many areas. Since COVID-19, our churches have listed young people in it. Even children organizations some have even closed because of a lack of being able to pull young people in. So I wouldn't say it's a crisis, but it's a concern that I think that we all should have. And that is, how do we link up with our youngers? How do we link up intergenerationals so we can have the kind of discussions that we need to have as a people, as a family? As I said, that I came in to this grandparents' day at the school with a friend of mine. And when I got there, I realized it was a Lutheran school. And I can remember going into this building. It's a beautiful building. And the first thing I noticed was that as you come in, the cafeteria area with the chairs and whatever, we turn to look to your left or to your right, and then the sanctuary of the church is there. So here, this church is set up, whereas even when the children go in to eat their lunch, the sanctuary is in plain view, reminding them that they have an account to a higher power. Well, I was amazed with this setup, because when I was attending a Lutheran school in New Orleans, the church was a separate building than the church. And my schoolhouse consisted of just 4 rooms, 2 grades to each room. It was from 1st to 8th grade. So the one room was 1st and 2nd grade, then 3rd and 4th grade, then 5th and 6th, then 7 and 8. So 4 rooms for 8 grades. It was a small school, and one teacher, and the teacher taught both grades. We learned a lot. Close family. We didn't have grandparents' day, but parents were definitely demanded to be involved with us. And because it was a church, they also made sure that we attended, lessons, the classes that the church provided. Even if you weren't Lutheran, you had to attend these classes and understand what they were about, what their teachings and their philosophy was about. I learned a lot. So I went back to this parent day, grandparent day. It's really amazing to me because I went in, I'm looking at the cafe area and facing the sanctuary. All this is so different to me. All this is so very different to me. And I thought about where I came from and how we see things so differently now, in a different day and time. And after COVID, things really expedited, right? So here I am viewing a very modern school. It's about a block square it occupies. Whereas where I was maybe a quarter of a block or half a block, short block. But nevertheless, I sat there and yet my mind was in the past. And then my friend whose grandson I was with, attending to celebrate with him, I realized how quickly time goes by. And what kind of quality time do we spend with our young people? We just imagine the faces, huh? The eyes are there and all excited about the grandparents there. And I'm here. And I'm just not just a visitor, but I am part of a bridge of what was and now and what to be. Grandparents are not like when I was a kid. Grandparents, when I was a kid, was sitting down in a rocking chair, rocking away. They may be sitting reading the Bible or whatever, but they are rocking, expecting to go home to heaven is what they did. But not today. Grandmothers are very busy, involved. In fact, I had a show planned today with grandmama, and in fact, it was a family with the great grandmother and all. And things just start falling apart for whatever the reason is. And so, in that, I apologize for that. But nevertheless, I'll just glean from my being a grandparent. As I sat down in the chair, one of the things I noticed that the teacher had activities for us. We could share stories, and then we also did little crafts together. And they'd set it up where we did crafts, and then it was a game time. I thought about my father. He used to love to have a lot of games. The chairs were very small, right size for the children. But as I sat with my hips kind of flapping over, I said, oh, wow. Grandmama time. And then the parents, they look very young too. Probably looking just pretty much the same way that I looked at when I had my kids in school, right? But I don't see their faces every day. I see mine, so I get used to my face. As I sat down, I recounted some of the stories and things that my mother went through when I was in a Lutheran school in New Orleans. Do you reflect? I thought about how I was so involved in teaching and sharing our history until I had a birthday party and someone had drawn a painting of me. A gift painting with two people. My spiritual mentor, Sojourner Truth, and on the other side was my mother. And my granddaughter came and she said, "Oh, my grandma, that's a really nice picture. That's a nice picture. He did a good job." I said, "Yeah, he did." She said, "But grandma, I want to know who's that lady over there by you?" I said, "Oh, that's Sojourner Truth." She said to me, she said, "Oh, I know Sojourner Truth. I'm talking about that other lady." Oh, I felt like this. I didn't know quite how to feel. Because here I am, a grandmother, and I'm teaching about our history. I'm teaching about the importance of our history. And my granddaughter asked me, "Who was the other lady?" And the other lady was the person and the ground of where my history began in my mother's womb. But she didn't know my mom. So I'm saying that it, as scripture says, it said, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul?" What does it profit us if we are out changing the world and calling on families, and then we may subject ourselves to losing our own? Yeah, it could be negative, but then again, I look at it now. Whoa, Joy, that was a big lesson. Because what I was encouraging others to do was not necessarily leading them towards where they needed to be and what they were doing. This is where our CEO, her mother's 100 years old now. 100 years old of history, and she's still living history. Maybe perhaps what has happened there is that reason why we have the female solution. Think about it. So many times we start on the outside, doing the work on the outside, rather than starting from within. So when my granddaughter told me that a few years back, I've been very conscious of that. So I talk and share stories, because I realize that right now the world is changing. It's changing so quickly, but technology is here. I have children in Joliet. I have children in Chicago. I have children in California. I have grandchildren, I should say, in Houston, Texas. How do we connect? How do we share the stories? Yeah, I want you to call in. You can call in and chime in at 515-605-9325. You're a grandparent or you're a parent? Call in. Share with us, and let's talk about our value as grandparents and as living history right now today. And what values are we leaving for those when we leave here and left behind? 727-731-5192. And you just identify yourself and come right on in. Thank you for being here with Mama Joy today and on the Female Solution and walking in our authority. Our authority begins with ourselves, and our power comes in our telling our stories and sharing our stories to empower our young people, to empower those around us. So encouraging intergenerational bonding is what we're doing today in the first part. In the second part, we're going to meet a couple of amazing women. I talk with them, so I know they'll be here. Lucretia Arnold and Sister Rhonda Glover. And again, one of them is not just a grandmother, but she's also a great-grandmother. So we can even have an extended conversation on that as well. But sitting down in that room was quite an experience for me. And of course, we're on YouTube right now, and we are also on Facebook. So if you're there, you can put your comments in, and we'll be able to communicate with you as well. I'm going to ask Jerome if you can share some of the pictures that I had from yesterday, a day before yesterday, when we decided that we were going to talk about our grandmothers. I'm very excited still. And let me just ask you some questions to think about, ponder about empowerment. Empowerment through generational bridges. You know, I can remember my grandmama when she was, I guess, 65, and she was so excited. She says, "Hey, they got something for us to do now." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "The older people have something to do. They've got a golden age." I said, "Well, Grandma, what does golden age mean?" It means that we have reached a golden time in our life, and we have worked and we've retired, but we could still have some fun. And so Grandma's time up to that time, oh yeah, here's a picture of where I was here with this young man. His name is Gideon, and his father is an African, and he is, let me see if I get his name, Benny Machu. His father's African, and he's a 5th grader. And he's in an area where I'm looking at maybe Black children who maybe just about 2%. And here he is. We felt really great about this because he had more people come with him. His sister to the right, his grandmother in the center, his mom is in back of him. And there he is, and then that's his teacher. You can also see his picture up there where you see the monitor saying the class. And as a friend of his mom and my neighbor, I felt the need to support her because she says, "I've never been to anything like this, Mama Joy." So we could see her granddaughter here. She's 20 and he's 10. But this was her first grandparents' day. And her daughter was not supposed to be there. She was covering for her daughter. When I realized today that they were not going to be able to make it, I called around. I called several grandparents, to be honest, 4. There, Gideon is there. He's speaking. His grandmother was so proud of him. She said, "I've never experienced this before." And I was sitting in there looking at all these children. And I realized that when I graduated from 8th grade at my Lutheran school, there weren't but 16. Because all of the Lutheran schools were very, very small in New Orleans. Get a chance and tell me what's your experience about a grandparents' day. 515-605-9325 or 727-731-5191. Okay. Am I on mute? I should not be on mute. I should not be on mute. I think I can be heard now. I was speaking, but I had it down. So anyone's on the call board, you can come and call in and have a chat. In about a couple of minutes, we're going to have a sponsor. Your grandmother by marriage. Your birth child hasn't had a child yet. But I have observed that when marriages end and families are broken, grandparents are often disconnected. Yes, Naima, thank you for your comment. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Grandparents being disconnected. I experienced that when my daughter divorced from her husband. And that was a very painful thing for me to experience, a divorce. And I could not communicate with the grandparents on the other side. so that we could come together and create a more peaceful situation for the children's sake. And I realized that everyone matures at different levels, and some people just remain the same. But it was very hard for me to look at people who are in the same area of age, experience, and not feel the need to be able to communicate and take in consideration the children. Well, we can talk about that. We often get disconnected, but you know what? I've learned that grandparents have a right, and grandparents can fight and stand for their right to be with their children. Oh, Tamara Pingjian says, I have only been a grandmother for a year. I'm looking forward to sharing history and connecting with my granddaughter. So thank you for this conversation and reminder of the importance of this connection. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And Tamara, what I'm thank you, number one, for responding. And also that you have a desire for that connection. And the value of it is because that child is a part of who you are. And we, as a people, when I say as not all Black people, but for so many of us, we're always looking for somebody to come from the outside. It's not happening. We have to share our own history. My granddaughter taught me that. And so I share now my grandmother. We're having a family reunion next month. And so I've been asked to do a booklet so that the young people can know their grandmother, that they can know their great grandmother. I go down to New Orleans now, and there are 3 and 4 generations below me. I can't even ask who your mama is. I started with, who's your grandmother? Who's your grandmother? Or either who's your mother? And they tell me, and I go to the mom and I say, okay, who's your mother? And they give me that mother, and then I may have to ask another time. Because young people are having children much younger now. Okay? So let me get into this position now of going into our sponsorship by bringing on that next one. Okay? So as we get our sponsorship, I'd appreciate very much. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you. Okay. Alrighty. We can't hear the commercial. It should be here. Can you hear the commercial? I'm not able to pull it up. I'm there. I'm on the board. But there's no vocalization. And then if you're calling from 515-605-9325, and you want to contribute to the program, just click push 1 on your phone, and we'll be right there with you. For some reason, we're not getting any sound. Do we have an alternative? Okay, we will just continue on as we work with this. And for those of you who are with us with Facebook or YouTube, we thank you very much. And we will just continue until we are able to correct and give time for our sponsors today. So we thank you. Call in 605-9325. That's 515-605-9325. Or call us at 727-731-5192. We thank you so very much. You can't hear my voice on the Blog Talk Radio. Really? Okay. Well, what have we got going on there? The mute button is not on.
.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Hello.
And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma.
Well. That's why we have our CEO here with us, Sister Naima Latif.
The Female Solution, global radio.
We're
TV
on mute.
Invites you
I have
to
this
an
new
invigorating, empowering, interactive
mute.
conversation with our team of hosts, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Gathering of the Griots with Asada. Wednesdays, Repairing Family Relationships with Naima and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Veggie Brunch Live with Angela. Fridays, Health and Well-Being with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Global Talks with Zana. Second Saturday, Walk in Your Divine Authority with Mama Joy. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. Fourth Saturday, be a judge on the virtual Teens, Tweens, and Tots Talent Contest. And fifth Saturday, join us on location as we conversate at the Elevate Cafe, owner Jackie Brooks. Sundays, join us 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Go to thefemalesolution.com to join us on our video or audio live streaming platforms. Listen at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in on the Blog Talk Radio Network 515-605-9325 or call in and comment on the On-Air Radio Network 727-731-5192. We want to hear from you.
What difference has this weightlifting done for your life? How did you get into it? I know that your husband Lou was in some way instrumental in influencing you to that. Am I wrong on that or what?
He was sort of when I told him. He laughed. He said, "Yeah, right, Lou." And then he saw that, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was really faithful going to the gym. And finally he says, "Lou, you're really serious about this, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I'm serious about it. And you know what? I'm enjoying it." And Now this was before the owner, who was our trainer, came before us with telling us that there was going to be, they call it a meet. And I said, what? Well, it's a tournament, but it's called a meet, Lou. And I said, okay. And I'm looking at Rhonda and I'm saying, what is he talking about? And he says, I want you all to compete. Compete where? Why? What? Anyway,
I'm having fun already. What is this about?
yeah, what is this about? And he says, you are strong. Rhonda's strong. You all can do this. Make a long story short, it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And so naturally, he had us in training. And trust me, the day of that we did it, I don't know about Rhonda, but the first day I did it, remember my husband says, okay, how much are we going to weigh? Well, at the time, I started off with 113 pounds, 112
Yeah.
pounds, something light. For me, was heavy, but now it's light. That
Mhm.
amount of weight, when I'm in training, I can lift like 10 times 112 pounds. But at that time, it was, you're looking at me like, yeah, right. But it's lightweight for me now, whereas it was heavy then. Anyway, the day of is like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know about Rhonda, but my
112
stomach,
pounds is light.
my stomach was in such a turmoil.
Mhm.
I had
Mhm.
butterflies and
Yeah.
all this, everything was going through my mind. And then
Mhm.
I thought to myself, okay, I'm enjoying doing this. Whether I win, I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to see if I can get out there and showcase and do something, you know. So after the first what is it?
Event.
Squat, yeah, after the
Yeah.
first event, even after that first time, even now when I get ready to do it, I
Mhm.
still am nervous. I
Mhm.
still, because it's not that I'm so sure of myself. It's like anything could go wrong, you know. I didn't listen to the judge, anything. So there's always that nervousness. And so, yeah, my husband was instrumental, and he encouraged me in his own way. And he encouraged me by making certain that he came, as well as my children. My children
Mhm.
are very supportive when it
Yeah.
comes to it. And I appreciate that. So what I've actually gained from that is, how do I say it? Um, More assurance in who I am as a person,
Mhm.
and not, as I was coming up, I was never, I always felt like people were down me. I never knew enough. It's just, as I've gotten older and this weightlifting, it's given me a certain amount of, what's the word that I
Have
want?
confidence or
A
whatever.
confidence in myself in doing certain things.
It's empowering too, Lou.
And it is, it
Mhm.
is,
It's
it's
very
empowering.
empowering.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh boy, here we go again.
yeah, yeah.
Squats.
What's this, Lou?
Squats.
This is the
What?
squat, the squats. And like you say, they're always there to hold you up. Mhm.
Wow.
So now that's my weak point. One day I'm gonna teach you how to do
I
that.
love the camaraderie the way you talk.
How's that feel? Great.
That was the last week that we just had last week.
Yeah,
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 that was last week,
yeah,
right? Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's Naima says impressive. I think I'll start waiting. weightlifting.
Okay. But start with what you can do. You can't look at everybody else and go, I'm gonna do what they do. No, you start at the level that you can do. If you
And
can
then
only do
pass them up.
if you can only do the bars, then just do the bar. If you can't do that bar, go get you 2 dumbbells. Start at the level you can start at.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think sometimes I go beyond, and that's why I don't last long. I get discouraged going for too much. That's great. Yeah.
But for me, when I started at a time when I had just got laid off from work. And I hated going to. I did not like exercise, and you couldn't pay me to go to nobody's gym. If you would have gave me a membership back then, I would have just wasted your money because I wouldn't step foot in that gym. No day, doing nothing. Then one day I took my mother because my mother was sick. And we walked up the street because it was in the neighborhood, and we looked, and they wasn't even open yet. But we went in and we knocked on the door. We went in there. We looked around. He talked to us, and I joined. And then he started talking to me. I started looking at the other people in there doing their thing. I said, well, maybe I can do that. I'm looking. And then finally, the owner of the gym said, okay, you can do that. Come on, let me find you a workout partner. And you're going to get over here and you're going to do this.
A workout partner. That's what it is. You're workout partners, right? Well,
and that's what we did at that gym. He teamed up everybody with a workout partner. Just about 90% of us had workout partners for accountability and to make sure we kept coming.
Oh, yeah, you on it set now. Here you go. Oh, you gripped it. Oh, Lord.
What? Come on.
Oh, wow, Ron. That's what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All in your face. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How much weight was that, Wanda?
That was a squat. That was probably 130, 135.
Wow. Yeah, I can see why you're attempting to stabilize. And that guy was.
And
right
then
there.
I always take a step back when I do a squat. So once I get the weight on my back, I take a step with one foot, then the other foot step back, and then go down.
Oh, everybody has their own style.
No, right. Everybody don't take a step. Some people do, some people don't. But I always take a step.
So that's something you develop, because Lou was telling me about it. You develop your style.
Yeah.
In time.
Yeah, you do.
You could have played that one back again because you look like you was into.
Well, we had a motto at the gym we went to: form is everything. Make sure you get the form, and then worry about how much weight it is. Because he would tell at the gym, the owner would tell us in a minute, just lift it. Forget about how much weight is on there. Just lift it. Now, and then when you got through lifting it, he'll tell you how much it was.
Well, tell me, are you all still at that gym, and is that trainer?
No, that gym, he retired and closed it. Then somebody else took it over, and that particular owner was good too. Because he's on the other owner. He's on right now too, Mario.
Oh, Mario. Oh, where's Mario? Mario is on. Okay, well, and where's that gym located?
It was, but that one's closed too. So yeah. Yeah.
So where are you all training now?
CFX in Olympia Fields.
Olympia Fields. I was trying to figure out where in Chicago. I'll have to look around.
It's 30 miles south of Chicago.
Okay. Well, is this sport pretty expensive?
Well, yeah.
It can be if you want to be. If you do like what we saw at the meet Saturday with all those suits, them extra suits they put on, and all them extra wraps, and the smell stuff that they were using, it can be.
Oh, that's right, the smell stuff. Okay.
And the different shoes that they wear.
Oh. Okay.
But just like any event that you participate, there is a entry fee. So if you're gonna be about doing 3 or 4 tournaments a year, you know, and then depending if they're out of town, it can become expensive.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like I bowl. So me bowling, paying for a room, paying for the entry fee, paying to eat, you know. So yeah, it can be expensive, you know, but if it's something you like and you want to
Right.
do it,
The cost isn't
the
an issue.
the money's not an issue.
I know
And
that's
one
right.
and 1 year I did the nationals and I qualified. I came in 3rd place. Then me and Miss Lou, we went to the world and she cheered me on. She was my backup coach. She cheered me on at the world, and that was in Orlando, Florida. So there goes some expense right there.
Right, right,
You know, I
right,
think I
right.
remember Lou to you telling me about you had to go support your partner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right,
I
right,
remember. I
right,
remember.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Ah.
still wanted to do it, but my money was funny, and she finally figured that out. I didn't have to say it, but I did ended up. She found that out, so we ended up making it work.
That's what partners do. That's what
Yeah,
partners do.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
and we made it work, and we had fun.
That's that's something you said, and I think well, Lou doesn't say it as much as you do, but you do have fun, and if there's no joy in it, then what's the purpose of it?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
but you
Yeah.
haven't. But as far as your body, your health, do you feel it has really benefited you? Even the emotional level.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
wondering.
Mhm.
Oh,
definitely,
here we go again. Here
definitely,
you go again. Oh my God.
definitely, definitely, definitely. You learn how to eat right. You learn how to take care of your body better. I have. I've learned how to
Thank you.
take
Yeah.
that, take care of my body better. Um,
There go Lou again.
you know, you know what? I must say that was a bad lift, but anyway, don't show that
Mhm.
again. That was a bad lift. But anyway, I've learned how to take better care of my body, and I've learned how to do some things that I wasn't doing before. I thought I was doing, but I wasn't. So, it's really helped me maintain that. And I know people say I'm small, but even small people can be overweight,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
I've learned how to cut back on my sweets and how to eat
Mhm.
healthy stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's made a difference in the way, you know, um, I am living. It's made a difference in the way I eat, and it's made quite a difference for me.
Mhm.
And um, I'm just glad that that's something that and somebody says to me, "Oh, how long you gonna do it?" As long as God keeps giving me the strength in my body to do this, I will be doing
That's
it.
good. Well, I see Zelda Robinson. She's saying, hey, she's one of our hosts here on Female Solutions. She said, actually, she's extending her hand out to Naima, saying, we can work out together, Naima. So they got the partnership coming up here now.
All right,
Okay.
now that's what I'm talking about.
And
That's what I'm
that's so
talking about.
important in how you inspire the listeners, you're inspiring other people who are watching you, all different ages here, how to pursue their interests and dreams, regardless of social norms or personal doubts, regardless of who says what. You set the
Yeah.
bars of your life standards for yourself, and trust that. And what is your word to the younger people about this weight lifting and challenges? What would be your advice or your word to them?
Rhonda, your turn.
Oh, okay. You can do whatever you set your mind out to do. The age is just a number on a piece of paper. Cover up that number and keep it moving. If that's what you want to do, then go do it. figure out the steps to do it and do them in order and get it done.
Whoa. Look, what's happening here, girl? Woo, that's that squat. Oh, gee. Now you're not sitting on anything. You're on your knees. I mean, you're actually.
That's your legs bringing you down into your squat position because you have to go low like you're sitting on a toilet.
Oh, you got to go there.
And then you wait, and then you bring it up, and then you wait at the top, and then you rack it. Put it back on the bar.
Okay, let's watch this again. So you get your knees together, and
I had to take a step back. Take my step back, and then come down.
She's waiting for that command. She can't do anything till if you notice, she's looking at him, at the judge.
Oh,
she can't move until
letting him know I'm ready. I'm letting him know I'm ready when I'm got the weight, and then he said, "Okay, go." Then I bring it down.
So you're looking at you watching him. That's some tension there. Woo.
Yes.
Then I take my step back. Then I take my step back and I come down. Then when I bring it up, I bring it and rack it after he tells me to rack it.
Oh, he tells it. Okay, rack it. Oh my stars, I was missing all that.
You have to listen for the commands. That's how you get your white lights or your red lights. You have to get at least 2 white lights. You want all 3 of them to be white lights.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, I've enjoyed you all today, and this is something different we've got on it. We want to thank our listeners on the Blog Talk as well as here. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Facebook and YouTube. Another round of applause for some ladies here. And remember, age has nothing to do. If you are determined, you can get wins regardless. These ladies have been empowered with this, and now you all are role models. Mm-hmm. Oh, Sharam, we want to thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, we had to tell him to back off, otherwise they've been disqualifying. But we're gonna.
He was excited too.
Yeah, and also too, both of our reputations follow us to the meets. They hear about us, and then when we get to the meets, everyone wants to know who is Miss Lucretia, who is Miss Rhonda. When we get there, then they see us. They're like, "Oh, okay, can we take pictures with y'all?"
Oh well, hey, now you're part of the Female Solution here in the Blog Talk Radio. So we want.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
And if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating, empowering, interactive conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Gathering of the Griots with Asada. Wednesdays, Repairing Family Relationships with Naima and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Veggie Brunch Live with Angela. Fridays, Health and Well-Being with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Global Talks with Zana. Second Saturday, Walk in Your Divine Authority with Mama Joy. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. Fourth Saturday, be a judge on the virtual Teens, Tweens, and Tots Talent Contest. And fifth Saturday, join us on location as we conversate at the Elevate Cafe, owner Jackie Brooks. Sundays, join us 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Go to thefemalesolution.com to join us on our video or audio live streaming platforms. Listen at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in on the Blog Talk Radio Network 515-605-9325 or call in and comment on the On-Air Radio Network 727-731-5192. We want to hear from you.